Hello, my name is Andre. This is episode 2 of Chronicles of Reality. And in this episode, I'm going to cover the next level, level 2 of my schizophrenic experience involving everything that I particularly went through. So, first level was voices. Second level are tactile hallucinations. I last left off with myself feeling the sensation of needles being jabbed into my skull in multiple areas. Uh, it was it was quite a realistic experience. I'm someone who has a high pain tolerance, so it was surprising to me to feel these sensations that were very real to me. And I couldn't just go home at that time. I'm working my security job overnight at a hotel, so I have to continue the job in that state. And so then eventually I finally made it home, and I remember that that night was quite a particular night among others that I'll share in the future. But during this particular night, I was uh, I was attacked mentally. I was attacked physically and mentally. Um, I'll explain it this way. Throughout this experience, keep in mind that there is a metaphysical body. So, as far as my experience is with my schizophrenia, there is a metaphysical body overlaying our actual body. And that is what these needles were puncturing at the time. And when this started, I suddenly was able to mentally see what I was going through or what was happening. Like I had what I'm gonna say is my third eye or a mind's eye. We'll say mind's eye. My mind's eye. So it was like I had multiple mind's eyes, and one of them would be tuned into the layer of my inner mind, my inner metaphysical mind, and that's where I'm able to actually see the shapes of these needles jabbing into my skull, and even looks somewhat cinematic. And in the same way you can see in the same way in I believe the movie Twister, where Twister or other disaster movies where there might be multiple twisters coming down and you can just see them funneling down from the clouds. Picture something like that, but just jabbing motions coming from those clouds and make those clouds my scalp. So that's the shape of my scalp and my skull. But mostly the scalp itself, which has like an entire other world within it that I'm able to see to a certain degree. So so that's what I experienced that night. Along with that came my mind's eye on a different level, which we'll say is like the regular level that you may think. So myself personally, when I think things, everything is attached to an image, and every image has a feeling to it. Uh, and and I'm able to control those to a great degree. At least at that time, I was able to control those to a great degree. So so the next thing that happened to me was the tampering of images. So I would see an image of let's say we can keep Xanadu. So Xanadu is an individual who a young warrior who looks like me, a younger version of me. Just picture me. It's being 16 years old with dreadlocks and orange irises. That's what Xanadu looks like. That's the image that I showed that started all this. So So if I showed an image of, let's say, just Xanadu training, or a scene of Xanadu training, I'd be able to do that. But then I found that images might be pulled from my mind. I started to see images drift from their positions. And I found that I had to really concentrate to pull those images back to my mind, or to the center of where I'm looking, um, which is where I'm usually focused. So that happened for a while, and then I found that these well, we're just gonna say entities. When I say entities from here on out, I'm talking about the voices in this case. So we'll say that the entities were pulling things from my head, from my head, and tampering with things from my head. And why do I say that it's the entities? That is because every time I hear their voices. So if I heard an entity's voice named Kaido, if I heard Kaido's voice, it has a very distinct voice. So if Kaido spoke, a distinct feeling, that I'm going to call a frequency, and I'm able to feel this frequency with Kaido's voice. So if Kaido spoke, or another entity named Suki spoke, then I can tell the difference between the two. And it's like I can feel their emotions and mentality when it comes to them interacting with me. So when Kaido talks, I feel a certain frequency. And then if I can hear Kaido talking, but then I might feel Suki's frequency in my head messing with the image. Or I'd be able to match up that something that Kaido is saying to me is also related to something that I'm seeing in my head, and what he's saying is addressing what I'm looking at and what is being pulled. And every time that image is pulled or grabbed on and manipulated with, I can sense that frequency, So yeah, I can sense that frequency. Now, this then evolved to a form of tactile hallucinations that I started to feel all over my body, which I will explain in greater depth in the next episode. But to explain a little bit of that is I would feel, let's say, waves against my body. Picture solid wind that's against my body. That particular type of feeling. So this solid wind I can feel to some degree, moving eventually, like moving my body. So it started that I would just sort of feel something pressed against my body. You would feel something pressed against your body, and you would feel kind of like a jolt. And I didn't really react to it that much at first, but I did make a note of it. And that evolved to things pushing me and then wrapping around me and manipulating my body to like a certain degree. So picture wisps, like wisps are like wind wisps, and what I would feel were like these wisps, let's say, wrapping around my arm, and then maybe twisting my arm or pulling my arm to like a slight degree, just enough for me to notice and feel each time. So a regular day would start to get slightly difficult when it came to this. Oh, excuse me. A tactile hallucinations right there. So I'm still, years later, I'm now experiencing a version of this that I'll eventually get to. But for now, I'll end with this level of tactile hallucinations. And then the next part will be what those hallucinations be morphed into. So that is the end of this episode. And until next time, thank you for watching this, whoever does, and going along with this journey of, of sharing my experience. This is something that I've really felt that I should be doing for some time now, so I'm glad to finally be here and share my experience. So please give me your feedback, and I look forward to talking to you all and sharing the rest of my journey. Thank you.